let's get this thing started here a little bit with the algorithms. The X-Man's come to you live on YouTube, and I wanted to talk on here, but hold on, I'm gonna have to do a couple things. Hold on. All right, hold on one more second. All right, so welcome to YouTube Live. The X-Man's gonna get on here, and I'm gonna do my recap real quick of the NFL today, and it was a really good day today. Honestly, I was watching a couple of these games on live, and they were pretty good. Right now, obviously, the Chargers are up 7-3 on the Cincinnati Bengals. That's going to probably be a shootout, honestly. So let's start where we start at. Earlier today, the Pittsburgh Steelers, are now what, 8-2? They're an 8-2 football team in a very close game, and they beat the Baltimore Ravens 18-16 today in a battle of two teams that were really trying to go for each other. Um, Obviously, Lamar Jackson didn't have a great game. Russell Wilson didn't really have a great game either. Derrick Henry getting a touchdown, 13 carries, 65 yards, touchdown. Isaiah Likely with a great game, 4 catches, 75 yards. That's a really good number. That's actually pretty good. Um, you know, that's really good actually. The Pittsburgh Steelers are victorious today, 8-2. I mean, I don't know how serious the Steelers are really going to be. Honestly, I think they could get a playoff win, maybe two. I don't know. I'm not really sure how they stack in the playoff race. But at 8-2, they have to be right there with the Buffalo Bills right now, record wise. So kudos for the Steelers for finding a way to get that victory today over the Baltimore Ravens. It felt like one of those old Ravens Steelers games back when it used to be Ray Lewis versus Ray Lewis, Joe Flacco, and Willis McGahee, Joey Porter. Obviously these Steelers and Ravens teams are a lot different now, but it had that feeling to it when you were watching it. Nice defensive game. The under was pretty simplified, and kudos to the Steelers. They're in the playoff hunt. They're actually a serious contender. Also running down the list now, we have the Jaguars and the Lions. No, I wanted the plus 14 with the Jags. I was totally wrong on this one. But the Detroit Lions went out and just really just ripped apart the Jags. I mean, they beat a team the way that a bad team is going to get beat. 52-6. Stacking 52 points on the board today. And Jared Goff kind of woke up today. Dave Montgomery had 2 touchdowns, 75 yards rushing out of 15 carries. Jared Goff, 24-29. Pretty solid game, actually. 412 yards and 4 TDs. I don't know how serious the Lions are, but, I'm glad to see the team like the Lions get up there and be serious as a competitive team. I think that's a really good thing for them. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Hold on. I gotta go into Instagram. Okay, so I'm back. Just getting a couple more things to see if I could build up some kind of a number as I'm on here. So yeah, kudos to the Lions for the victory. 9-1, they really look solidified. I mean, the only team that's even close to them is the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Eagles, we'll see, 8-2, but there's a lot of football to be played. Which means in the next game, and actually the next opponent for the Philadelphia Eagles, as we lead to that game, in a squeaker victory. Very close game. The Patriots tried really hard today. I seen that. The Rams did escape, and they're 5-5. Not a serious contender as far as like being a championship team. I mean, but Matt Stafford played well today. He had 18 and 27, 295, 4 TDs, no turnovers. So obviously the Rams really went out there and played really good football today. At 5-5, the Rams are not really in it, but they're still kind of there. The New England Patriots, kudos to them for trying. Drake May, he had a 282 yards passing now. I mean, maybe that kid Drake May might be good for the Patriots. Maybe he gets them up to be a playoff team in a couple years. It may happen. 2 TDs, 1 interception. I don't even really know anybody on the Patriots. K. Bourne, 5 receptions, 70 yards and a touchdown. Puka Nakua, they really had a really huge game for the Rams. That might have been actually the difference. 7 receptions, 123 yards and a touchdown. Solid player for the Rams. I mean, he is. Cooper Kupp. I don't know what's going on with him and all that, but the Rams, they squeaked it out and they're 5-5. They're not great, but they're not out of it per se. So we'll see what happens with the Rams next couple weeks. We're going to see a lot of things. And the next game here is the Colts and the Jets. The Colts escape. The New York Jets are a shamble of a team, but they stayed in it. Anthony Richardson outdueling Aaron Rodgers. What a shocker. Although, Aaron Rodgers really didn't do really that much either. 184 yards, 2 touchdown passes, but he didn't get that much yardage. And Brees Hall really had a pretty solid game. 16 for 78, touchdown. The Jets, they did what they could. Devontae Adams is there, but again, you're now 3-8. They're not a very good football team. The New York Jets are not a good football team, and the Indianapolis Colts are still alive. Anthony Richardson, 272 and a touchdown. Pretty solid game for Richardson, considering he was almost getting thought to be booted out of there. John Taylor, 24 57, not great numbers. Jay Downs, 5 receptions, 84 yards. Colts are not really in it. They're not a playoff team, but at least they're competing. At least they're going out and they're winning some games. The Indianapolis Colts are 5-6. What are you gonna do? Shane Steichen is out there, and they're not like totally destroyed. They're not shamble of a team. They're 5-6. So Indianapolis Colts 28, Jets 27. Jets season's pretty much over. Time to get over the Rodgers train and get him out of there and draft a quarterback. One of many things they're going to have to do. If they run with Rodgers next year, it's going to be the same result. So, you'll see what happens with that. Next one is Minnesota Vikings beating the Titans. Minnesota Vikings 23-13. Really, the whole game is pretty addictive. Sam Darnold with a pretty solid game. But again, who were they playing too? 246 for 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones 15 for 39. Really didn't do much. Jefferson 81 yards, no touchdowns. They played Will Levis, and he's terrible. He was their leading rusher. Whoever N. Westbrook is he had a pretty good game. 2 catches, 117 yards. He had 2 bombs. The Titans 2-8. They're done. But the Vikings at 8-2. As much as I don't think they're going to go far, they are in the playoff hunt, and they are one of the top teams in the NFC. I don't know how that's going to fold out. I guess they have a solid core with Minnesota, or they're just playing simple, easy games like the Eagles have been playing. I don't know. I can't really tell which one it is yet. That time will tell. Eventually, it always separates itself who's good and who's bad at the end of the day. Right now, 10 games, you're kind of hitting the peak of it, so we'll see where that goes with Minnesota 8-2. Obviously, here's our next game, the Raiders. Man, it's tough about the Raiders because every time I mention the Raiders, I watch Mark Davis single-handedly destroy this franchise, and he does it all the time. Now, the Miami Dolphins now win 34-19. I get it. And people are saying they're in the playoff hunt at 4-6. I'm like, they need the delusion of the fact that they think the Dolphins are going to make it. Maybe they might. I don't think they are. I honestly think they're so far behind right now, 4-6. I don't see how the Miami Dolphins could make the playoffs right now. They have a team around where they could probably win games to get back in it, but they're not a serious contender. Tua is not going to make it through this whole season. The fact that they brought him back after that concussion just to me makes no sense. Mike McDaniel is a terrible coach, in my opinion. If you get an easy game, you win an easy game. It's simple as that. I mean, they won 34-19, but they played the Raiders. The Raiders have forfeited the season. They're really bad for the Raiders right now. Gardner Minshew, 282. He almost had 300 yards passed, 2 TDs and 1 pick, but he's not a good quarterback, though. Tua Tagovailoa, 288 and 3 touchdowns. Jay Smith, 2 touchdowns. Arcane got a TD. And Brock Bowers is really a really good, solid player for the Raiders. Hopefully, the Raiders can build around Brock Bowers. I'm hoping because you know what? They don't really have much there as far as it goes. And at 2-8, it's just terrible. Miami Dolphins kind of hanging in there at 4-6, but it's only going to be a matter of time before they play themselves out of the playoff picture. Which leads me to my next game, which is the Green Bay Packers and the Bears with the missed kick late in the game. The Bears, they played what they could. Jordan Love, 13-70, 281, and a touchdown and a pick. Josh Jacobs, solid game, 18 for 76. Not great numbers, but it's okay. And then 1 TD. Green Bay Packers at 7-3 now. Swift, 14 for 71 and 1 TD. Chris Watson, 4 catches, 150 yards. I mean, a lot of yards, but the Green Bay Packers squeak by, and they're still 1 game behind. The NFC North division obviously is really, really competitive this year. I mean, you have the Packers, the Vikings, and the Lions all in the mix in the Central Division right now, and it could go any way. Green Bay did win. They're 7-3. The Chicago Bears, obviously, they've pushed themselves out of playoff contention. They're not a good. They weren't a good team. They're not managed well. They're building around a rookie quarterback who thinks he's Joe Montana, and he's not, and he's proven that. And they're now 4-6. But they're close. But they're not. They're not anywhere near it. I thought they would do better, 4-6. Probably the end of that for the Bears. I think that might have just been the dagger for them, honestly. But Green Bay 7-3, holding on. And proving my point is how fraudulent I believe that the Atlanta Falcons are right now. Now they are 6-5, and they've got smoked by the Denver Broncos today. Bo Nix, 307 yards, 4 touchdown passes, 28 of 33. Kirk Cousins, 18 of 27, 173 and a pick. He's not a good quarterback, guys. I don't know why you're giving $50 million to quarterbacks like Kirk Cousins who cannot get out there and play football. Simple as that. They're now 6-5. That was an embarrassing loss. Raheem Morris, I don't think, has any coaching ability as far as it goes, but who knows? Bijan Robinson, only 12 rushes for 35 yards. Drake London, 3 catches, 61. They're just not a good team. Jay Williams, quietly, that guy Jay Williams is really a good fantasy player. Cortland Sutton, 7 for 78. Denver Broncos are 6-5. They're a winning football team right now with Bo Nix. So maybe I'm wrong about Peyton to some degree. I don't know if I am or I'm not, but the Denver Broncos at 6-5 are more important than the Falcons at 6-5, who I think they're going to play themselves out of the playoffs because Kirk Cousins is not a good quarterback. I just don't think he's a good quarterback. And it's proven once again they're at 6-5 and they look mediocre. How do you go out and lose that bad to Denver? In a game of that magnitude where you're in a playoff chase, you're trying to get in as a wild card at least, and you play like that, I mean, that's bad. It just separates the good teams from the wannabe good teams. Atlanta 6-5. Seattle Seahawks, they got it done today. They haven't been playing well at all, but they did get it done today against San Fran. Now San Fran's they're starting to dim now. I think the Debo drama is really killing San Francisco right now. Just what it is. Seattle won late. Geno Smith didn't even really play that well. Kenneth Walker, 14 for 54. Jay Smith Najigba, 10 catches, 110 yards. I mean, they didn't really play great, but they won a grunge game, the Seattle Seahawks, and they're now 5-5. Are they enough to get in the playoffs? I don't know. Between them and San Francisco. Now, San Francisco lost a tiebreaker. That's a game that San Francisco needed to win. So, the Kyle Shanahan, overrated Kyle Shanahan, once again with another Terrible loss. And your boy Purdy, 159, one TD, one interception. He's got McCaffrey. He's got Jawan Jennings. He doesn't need Debo. He should have other players. And they're in big trouble, San Fran, I think. I thought they're the only team that actually was loaded on both sides of the football to the point where I think they can win grunge games against teams like the Lions and the Eagles. But and maybe Minnesota or Green Bay if necessary. But Seattle, kudos to them for winning in a grunge game. And mine, which I'm so happy about, and I'm really, really am happy about this. The Buffalo Bills 30 and the Kansas City Chiefs 21, finally exposing the Chiefs. I really thought the refs were going to come into play late in that game, but it didn't. That's a real good thing. Josh Allen, a okay game. Pretty good game. 27 out of 40 for 262, one TD, one pick. He was also the leading rusher, 12 carries, 55 and a TD. K. Shakur, 8 catches, 70 yards, but he got hurt. Did see that. Xavier Worthy really had a pretty good game, Xavier Worthy. I think I took him in fantasy. Pat Mahomes, 3 TDs, 2 picks, 196. They didn't play bad. They just didn't play enough to win. But it's good that they lost. Now we don't have to hear about undefeated, all that three-peat and all that. That can be put to rest, at least for now. The Buffalo Bills are 9-2. Josh Allen's playing good. I mean, he still has a lot of picks, which you got to watch. But he played pretty much like an MVP tonight, and the Buffalo Bills won, and they are now 9-2. They look really solid. Let's see what happens moving forward. I really would love to see the Buffalo Bills make it to the Super Bowl. I really would. I honestly believe that they can. They have enough. I would love to see it only because they gave Josh Allen nothing. Like at least with Mahomes gets people, but they gave Josh Allen nothing. So that's where we stand right now. The other game that's on, obviously, is the Bengals and the Chargers, and right now it's a 1-point game. So that was my recap. I learned that the Lions. I learned that Lions, and I learned that the Bills, and I really like the Broncos are just kind of impressive the way they're winning. But there's lots of things you could break down from this. Obviously, the Buffalo Bills winning was huge, and the Detroit Lions winning the way they won was making them 9-1. They look really solid right now. As of right now, Detroit Lions might be able to make that push. Maybe. This is a big maybe, but there's a possibility that could happen. So don't be surprised that it happens. And, we'll see what we got. But anyway, that was my recap for tonight. I'm going to get off here. I'm not going to. I may do a live tomorrow night when I get done everything I got it done. But hope everybody's enjoys it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and we'll get back to it soon. Anyway, X-Man out.